Robert Pape, author of The Escalation Trap on Substack. Professor, great Substack. You write it well. Is that what we're in right now, an escalation trap, and what does that mean?
Yes, we're in an escalation trap, stage 3, actually, of the escalation trap as I break it down on the Substack. So stage 1 was the smart bombs that hit targets, killed leaders, but did not stop stage 2, which was Iran's horizontal escalation campaign, which has led to Iran now controlling the Straits of Hormuz. We're now moving to stage 3. We're moving Marines in. We have a couple weeks before we get to the real decision point for stage 3. But we are now moving to a real decision. Will we leave this conflict with Iran in control of the Straits of Hormuz and 20% of the world's oil? That's the real question in front of the world. Will we back out?
You call this a trap, though. What's the trap?
Forward? The trap is that we won't leave. We'll get sucked into the ground war, which will then fall right into Iran's hands. You see, the trap is that once you go down this escalation and you are losing strategically, so you just showed all the tactical victories, but we're losing strategically. Iran is more powerful today than it was before the war. It controls 20%
well, they control
of the
20%
world's oil. That's tremendous power.
20% of the world's oil before. Vice Admiral Robert Hayward, former Deputy Commander of Central Command, do you agree that we're losing strategically?
Quite the opposite. I think we're meeting our objectives. And it's like you said, they control the Straits every day for the last 10 years. They could have done this at any time they choose. And if we didn't address it now, we would not be able to address it in the future. So again, I'm not worried about the escalation. I am worried about the end state. Are we going to see this through? I think the president's made it very clear he's committed to see this through the end. And boots on the ground doesn't mean a large conventional confrontation. Maybe it's on Karg Island. Maybe it's on the islands. Maybe it's going to be something that tips the regime and those to turn. So again, I'm less concerned about escalation and large confrontation. The last thing they'd want to do is confront us on the ground with our air power. I think once you establish a beachhead, it's going to be a forcing function for a lot of those in the IRGC, the Artish, and the besieged to make that decision. Are you going to be a part of the future of Iran or the past where blood?
If I could just make one little additional point.
Professor, you seem to.
Hold on,
Professor. You can, but you seem. Professor, hold on. It's my show. Professor, you seem to be. You seem to be saying, though, essentially, Professor, we had to just let Iran grow and become the cancer.
Oh, God, no,
that it is
absolutely not. I think it's the worst regime in the world. I've modeled the bombing of Iran for 20 years. I've taught for the U.S. Air Force. I helped build the curriculum for the School of Advanced Air and Space Studies to build the next generation of generals for the Air Force. The military comes to me to get PhDs at the University of Chicago.
So what are they doing wrong?
This is just to be, I realize that you don't know me very well, but this is hardly me siding as the softy liberal for Iran. That's not what's going on. Let me just make one key point. Since February 28, there's been exactly one country that has exported oil through the Strait of Hormuz, and that is Iran. And how much have they exported? 15 million barrels. How much have they made? $1.5 billion. That is 50% more than they were making before. So when I mean they're powerful, I'm not talking in grand cosmic terms. I'm talking about dollars and cents. We're worried that they're going to have money to funnel terrorism, drones, so forth. They now have an extra $500 million they did not have before, while the other Gulf countries are getting poorer by the hour. So this is not some, vague political.
Okay, the point that they're still being, the point that the regime's still getting money is a good one. Admiral, the Israelis now shifting to targeting individual people on motorcycles, individual Baji militia posts, trying to set the stage for some kind of popular uprising. The question is this. Does the regime need to fall, or does the regime just need to start fighting with each other to be successful?
Well, I think either one is remembered. The end state is important. And back to Robert, I think his comments are very valid about having money, having resources. And that may be the next step where we blockade all oil leaving the Gulf. But I think the other thing that you have to remember is you've got about 60 million Iranians, 70 million who want this regime gone as well. And that's the real differentiator with previous conflicts. And so I think these steps we take, maybe embargo the oil, boots on the ground in Karg Island, maybe even Bandar Abbas to ensure we keep the straits. But when we ensure the free flow of oil and we do complete the mission on taking out missiles so they're not flowing, we're moving oil, then we take our capacity with the Israelis to focus on regime, going after leaders, going after stuff, to empower the people and tip that balance of power where the people can take control. So that's how this is going to play out.
Professor,
definitely.
Does that speak to, maybe this is a Substack for you tomorrow, that we need a disproportional amount of escalation, that we need to go farther up the escalation ladder in order to achieve quickly the strategic goals?
So for 30 years, I have studied every air campaign in history. I spent years teaching targeting strategy for the Air Force and leadership targeting strategy in particular. So I am very familiar with this. I want to pick my words carefully. Air power alone has never, I don't mean rarely, has never toppled a regime. My book, Bombing to Win, goes through all those cases in detail. I have multiple articles in Foreign Affairs. That's the flagship journal in Washington.
Your credentials are understood, Professor. That's why you're here.
Credentials, sir. Sir, it's not about, I'm not trying to brag. I'm telling you, Trump is up against history. And also, with all due respect, your other guest, when he says all this is easily going to happen, it hasn't happened in 100 years of trying. And usually what you get is a trap, an escalation trap, where it gets more and more costly.
You made your point. I'm going to give the Admiral...
This is the problem that we have.
I'm going to give the Admiral the last word here. Is there a way, for the first time in history, to achieve regime change from the air with a ground force? I'd say Libya was the other way the U.S. was able to push that. Didn't exactly work out so well, but it happened. What needs to change on the ground, Admiral?
Well, first off, I haven't studied it for 30 years. I lived it for 30 years. I was in Bosnia hunting pipwicks. I was in Yemen. I led the invasion of Afghanistan. I led the invasion of Iraq. I lived it. And when we put our mind to it and we thought creatively, we got it done. I think this is that precedent. I think an air campaign, and I'm not saying boots on the ground, I'm talking enabling the people of Iran, if that takes boots on the ground. So yes, we can do this, and we will do it.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Admiral, Professor, good to see you both.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.